Crypto investors, my company will build your portfolio for 5 to 10x gains in the next 12 months, guaranteed. I'm going to keep this very short. I'll give you a brief 20-second intro on who I am, and then I'll get into the details of my service. My name is Frank Hepworth. I'm a licensed attorney who has consulted crypto exchanges, and I've worked with government regulators, and I use those insights to turn $79,000 into over $1.1 million last crypto cycle. This time, I'm going from 7 figures to 8 figures, and I'm bringing others with me. So here's how my service works. We will build your portfolio for 5 to 10x gains in the next 12 months. We do this by guaranteeing you 3 key results. Number 1, we will onboard you into the primary crypto markets. Look at this chart. AVAX was available in the primary crypto markets July 2020 at 50 cents. But it was listed on Coinbase 16 months later at $66.63. So if you bought on Coinbase, you bought 16 months too late, and you missed the opportunity to turn, say, $10,000 into over $1.3 million. So that's a 13,226% gain, 132x completely missed. As you can see, the issue with secondary markets like Coinbase is that they show you the assets too late. That's why the first thing we do is give you access to the primary markets so you can buy these assets earlier before they get listed on a secondary major exchange and at 60 to 90% cheaper prices. Number 2, once you're onboarded into the primary markets, my research team will build your portfolio with the newest and best crypto assets in that market. Because the truth is, most people are holding old assets in their portfolio, and these old assets from the last cycle have already matured, or they haven't found product market fit, and they're just not going to give you the type of returns you're aiming for. The key to maximize your profits is to find new and young assets. But the problem you'll have is that most people are busy with their job, business, family, and everything else. That's why my team of full-time researchers filters the 22,000 different crypto assets in this market. They identify the ones with the most growth potential and present them to you. Number 3, you'll get a primary market consultant. There will always be nuanced problems that can only be solved through one-on-one help. We all know this. Our consultants have worked with the Ethereum Foundation, Solana Labs, and the other most major organizations that have been building crypto technology from the very start of the industry. They know crypto better than the back of their hand. So rather than listening to unreliable information from social media marketers, you can now have a one-on-one conversation with an expert from my team. You can ask them anything you want, a portfolio analysis, buying or selling an asset, or just a general question about the state of the market. You can see that with these 3 pillars combined, that is access to the primary crypto markets, my internal research team, and a dedicated consultant as your partner, you have everything you need to build a portfolio for 5 to 10x gains in the next 12 months. And this is going to be done without having to stare at a computer screen all day long, make crypto your full-time job. I know you'll already have one of those, or suffer from the stress and confusion that comes from being alone in this new market. If you qualify, you will be directed to a calendar page where you can book a video meeting with me or my team. We will audit your crypto portfolio. We will tell you exactly how we are preparing for the upcoming cycle. On this call, we'll tell you what assets we're buying, when we're buying them, and when we're planning to get out. So if there's a fit, we'll also explain what it would look like for us to onboard you into the primary markets, have our research team build out your portfolio, and give you 24/7 access to one of my expert crypto consultants. The information we'll give you on this call, you're not going to find in some random YouTube video or a social media post. So even if we're not a fit, I still highly recommend you implement what you go over on the call. To reserve your spot, apply now. But if you want to understand how we can even fulfill on such a bold offer like this, keep watching, because there's 2 parts. Number 1, our unfair advantage, and number 2, perfect market timing. Let's begin with our unfair advantage, the primary crypto markets. The primary markets allow you to buy crypto early, before it gets listed on secondary exchanges and at very cheap prices. So for example, TON, it was available in the primary markets at 52 cents. It reached a peak at $8.17, and that's a 1,471% gain. And Coinbase hasn't listed it yet. Or we can take a look at Peas, available in the primary markets since December 2023 at 36 cents. It reached a peak of $10.50. That's a 2,816% gain. That's a 28x, and Coinbase still hasn't listed it yet. Or here's CAS, available in the primary markets since June 2022. Now it's up over 92,437%. That's literally a 924x gain, and Coinbase still hasn't listed it yet. See, by simply changing where you invest from secondary market exchanges like Coinbase, Crypto.com, Kraken, to the primary crypto markets. Not only do you get to buy new assets earlier, but you also make significantly more profits on the exact same assets. To explain what I mean, let's use Solana as a case study. Here's a quick timeline of Solana. Listed on Coinbase May 2021 at $44.45. It peaked in the market generally November 6th, 2021 at $249.98. If you bought Solana on Coinbase and you sold at the market peak, you would have made a 462% gain. That is not bad. You'd have been turning, say, $10,000 into $46,200. But if you had bought on the primary markets and then sold at the peak, you'd have made a 26,213% gain. That would have turned that $10,000 into over $2.6 million. So do you see the difference? 46,000 in the secondary crypto markets or 2.6 million in the primary crypto markets. That's 56 times more money on the exact same asset. So that's the first reason why we can make this offer. By onboarding you into the primary markets and having our research team build your portfolio with the most promising assets early, a 5 to 10x gain on your portfolio becomes possible. The second reason is perfect market timing. The most important thing you need to understand is that right now we're on the verge of what could be the biggest crypto bull run yet. This chart shows you the 4-year crypto cycles. Ever since the inception of crypto, this cycle has repeated like clockwork. In 2013, we saw an all-time high. 2 years later, we saw it drop. 2 years later, all-time high, then another drop. 2 years later, all-time high. 2 years later, another drop. And now we're going into the next 2-year stretch, the next bull run. What we've seen repeatedly for the past 15 years is that every new bull run makes the previous bull run seem like a blip on the chart. Look at 2013, the peak at 1.1 thousand seems gigantic, but 4 years later in 2017, you can barely even see that 1.1K from 2013 on the chart. But the question you'll have, if you don't know already, is why? Why does this happen? The reason this pattern keeps repeating over and over again is due to the Bitcoin halving. The Bitcoin halving cuts the amount of new Bitcoin being created in half every 4 years. Hence the 4-year cycles, the 2 up, the 2 down. In 2012, it took about 12 months from when the halving happened to when the market peaked. In 2016, it took 18 months for the market to peak after the halving. In 2020, the market had a lower peak after 12 months and a maximum peak after 18 months after the halving. What we've seen repeatedly over the past 15 years is that 12 to 18 months after the halving, the market peaks. And the most recent halving was on April 19th of this year, 2024, meaning we're only months away from the next explosive bull run taking off. But this bull run is different because for the first time ever, crypto ETFs have opened the floodgates for the big institutions like BlackRock to start pouring their capital into this asset class. In fact, Bitcoin ETFs are seeing daily net inflows averaging about 125 million per day. And as more ETFs get approved and more institutional capital comes in, experts are predicting this could spark the biggest bull run we've seen yet. Those who position themselves correctly before this takes off have the opportunity to significantly multiply their wealth. But time is running out. Soon prices will rise, and when they do, your chance to 5x, 10x, 30x your portfolio will disappear. But if you're watching this video, it means you do still have time. This is the second reason why we can make this offer. 15 years of historical data shows us that we're only months away from the next bull run. And with institutional adoption rising, this could be the biggest one yet. So when you combine this perfect market timing with the unfair advantage of buying crypto early and cheap in the primary crypto markets, you can quickly see why we're making this offer. But we can't keep running this offer forever. As the bull run takes off and the prices get higher, we'll eventually reach a point where the opportunity will have passed us by and we'll be forced to stop taking on more clients. But if this video is up and you're watching it, you still have time. So apply now, because by watching this far, it means you're obviously interested. And as I see it, you have 3 options. Option 1, don't do anything with what you've just learned and stay exactly where you are right now. If you're happy to miss out on the bull run altogether, or if you're satisfied with selling for 1/10 of the profits by staying just in the secondary markets, then keep doing what you're doing. Option 2, you do it all yourself. If you're willing to spend tens of hours a week to research and want to burn money figuring it out through trial and error, then you may not need our service. Just remember, you are up against the clock. And if you mess this opportunity up, you could miss out on millions. Option 3, apply now and let us help you. If you qualify for the application, you get a free consultation. information. We can tell you exactly how to prepare for the upcoming bull market. We'll tell you what we are buying, when we're buying it, and when we're getting out. So apply now for the call and let us help you. It's free and you literally have nothing to lose. So don't delay, because this could be one of the most profitable actions you take this year.